Who gets the last note?
I know, right?
Yeah. That's Kirk Fletcher here.
This is Joey Landreth here.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to That Pedal Show, guys.
Welcome to That Pedal Show.
We're here to talk about gear and pedals and guitars, and definitely not to plug a tour that I have coming up or a record that Kirk is releasing. Definitely not to do.
Not going to talk about that at all.
October 19th, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
That's not
Tour starting on Friday.
That's right.
Never heard about it.
No. Who's
Joey Landreth.
Not me. Kirk
Check it
Fletcher
out.
releasing a record on October 19th. What? Say what? So...
We're so excited to not talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to not listen to your record when it comes out on October 19th.
Totally, Joey.
Yeah.
Man,
You for sure won't be at my first show on Friday.
Man, and I will not be talking about your new single, too.
It's coming out in October also, but not on the 19th. After the 19th.
After the 19th.
Yeah.
But you didn't have it from us because we're not ones to gotcha.
No. This is a place of safety and...
Yes. And pedals and
tone and
or lack thereof or
zero advertisement. Yeah, what's with that, man?
I know. But this is just like some pedals that I threw in like a suitcase just to record my record that's coming out on October 19th, but not plugging it, but
just plugging into them pedals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me about this. What is it?
I don't want to talk about this when you're showing up playing like that, playing through those.
Come on, get out of here.
No, there's just a bunch of gadgets on there. These are really, I'm really excited about the Chase Bliss pedals. I just got these. I just picked them up. I bought this one first and then went and spent like 19 hours on YouTube watching people. I'm still learning this one.
Yeah. What's it called?
That's a Thermae and that's a Tonal Recall. They're both delay
Thermae.
pedals. Yeah. And yeah, they sound really, really great. This is, let's see if I got this. That's not going to be right. There we go. This is the Thermae, and it's not really doing, it's not really doing what it usually does, which is like crazy sounds. But this is just sort of the sort of simple. It's really cool.
I'd say.
And then, so these pedals are like, there's, I think a designer who invented space was working on these, and time travel as well.
Yeah.
And I'm using it for a long delay and a short delay, which is kind of I'm kidding, he didn't invent space, that's ridiculous. Space has always been here.
But close to it, though, in our world.
Yeah. You could have opinions on that, but just know that you're wrong. And then I also use it for a short delay. Yeah, that kind of thing. And that's all I want to talk about these pedals about right now while you're sitting there.
Okay. Well, like I said before, I don't want to talk about it, but these are the pedals I used on my new record, and yeah, it's pretty much just
When's that coming out
Reverb.
again?
October 19th. Thank you. Old Vox Wah, King Wah. Josh Smith told me about that. I had to get
Never
one.
heard of him.
Can we get a little horn honk?
Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. I have wanted to do this for a long time.
Josh Smith.
Hang on.
Josh Smith. Told me I should
Kirk
get
Fletcher.
Hey, Joey Landreth.
Yes, that feels good.
Hey, Chris Kane, Mike Landau.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Cool. So, Jan Ray.
Yeah, I got the Jan Ray going. I just use it as, like my boost to get this amp even more. This beautiful 633 amplifier that I'm playing that I use on my record.
Oh, yeah.
October 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds, sort of. Yeah, that sums it up what that does, But it's, and I just basically ride the volume, just up and down and kind of keep it on all the time. And then I'll just use a tremolo Catalinbread Valcoder, just for a little.
Yep.
That kind of thing. And then reverb.
Sweet.
And the cool thing about the reverb is it has like a little volume boost on there too, so I can push the front end of the amp even a little bit more. So.
Oh, wicked. That's super cool.
And that's pretty much it. And the wah-wah is just, kind of self-explanatory. That kind of thing.
That's cool.
And that's pretty much it.
Sweet. I got one of those as well, also down here.
Hey.
This is hey.
Hey.
Give you some of that. Does that kind of sound?
And then this one. And it's got like that kind of changalanga,
Yeah. I don't like sitting next to this guy, man.
Pedal too, the Duellist, who we love, Jesse Davey.
Yeah, yeah. This is I had this off my board for a little while, just get kind of use the same thing too much, and you just forget what things sound like. So I had it off for a little while and was using a Jan Ray.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, and then also Mythos Herculean,
Oh,
the new volume 2 or version 2 that he made. And that thing is really, really fantastic. But I needed something that had 2 channels for a smaller board.
Yeah.
For this tour, and then I've got the Duellist on again, and it's such a great pedal.
I'm actually using the Duellist too. There's a bunch of pedals that I use, but this was just bare bones, because actually when I was going in to record the new record October 19th, I was just gonna do like rough guitar tracks and stuff. I wasn't thinking I was gonna like do the real guitar
master takes.
Yeah, or whatever. So I just brought a handful of tremolo reverb and just a little boost, But I love the Duellist pedal. It's fantastic.
Such a good one.
Yeah.
I also have a tremolo. You have tremolo. I got tremolo.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
I
Yeah.
got the that thing, the Supro. Sounding really good right now. It's off. That's why. That's a pro tip, folks. That sometimes when you're playing stuff, you want to make sure that it's on and not off.
On and plugged in.
Also, that it's set to your desired Yeah. I think I just shut it off again.
Oh.
This is. I'm just showing you some real world application.
Yeah.
You know, just so that you never know, because this is what it looks like in the wild. That's kind of that brown face we were talking about. That. Yeah, that's
Check, please.
Can I quote you on that? I'm gonna have T-shirts that say "Check, please, Kirk Fletcher."
Of course.
Yeah, cool. I also got a fuzz pedal under here. This is also made by Mythos. This is Zach and I collaborated on something for my last single that I put out back in September. It's called Forgiveness. You can find it on iTunes or Spotify or all over the world, anywhere. You can also steal it just off the internet. It's fine. I don't mind. It's very metal.
Oh, man. How about that? You know, I could kid myself and, like, go buy one of those because you sound so good with it, but I'd never sound that good with it.
Well, you could try it for your new record that's coming out on October 19th.
Maybe I should get one for my new record.
Yeah, you could.
You know.
I'm definitely going to use it at some of my shows that are coming up starting on Friday. You could check them out if you wanted to. joeylanders.com/tours.
I'd say.
This is hard. It's hard advertising for yourself.
I know, and
this is why I pay people dozens of dollars to do it for me.
That's why I'm glad you're here, so I don't feel so bad all by myself up here talking about my new record that's coming out on October 19th.
Yeah, I won't miss it.
And is this a special tour for any particular reason, or are you just...
Thanks for asking. Yeah, it is actually. I'm playing a bunch of new music, and for the first time since 2015 now, I'm back in the UK with a band. So I've got a trio. Well, it's a trio if you include me. I actually never know what to say. I've got a duo traveling with me, but together we make three because 2 and 1 is 3.
Do your math, people.
Eat your vegetables and do your math. At least the simple adding and subtracting. Long division gets tricky. Don't feel bad.
So why are you touring again? You doing a tour because you're playing with the duo?
With a duo, plus
with a
myself.
Trio,
but it's a trio but with the 3 of us, yeah. In support of some new music and a new record that will be coming out later this year, but definitely not on October 19th when Kirk's does. Man. Have you ever played 7 Degrees to Kevin Bacon? Do you know that game?
No.
We should play that game. Maybe not right now because we're working, but...
Put me on the spot. I don't play games that good because I'm an idiot. But
you basically have to get your way back to Kevin Bacon in 7 moves. So if I were to say, like, Helen Hunt, how could you get yourself back through movies to Kevin Bacon from Helen Hunt? And you could say, like, well, Helen Hunt was in Twister with so-and-so. And the trick move is if you can find your way back to A Few Good Men, or if you can find your way back to like either Tom Cruise, Cuba Gooding Jr., God, so many famous people, Jack Nicholson, who were in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon, and that's the coup de grace. So there, we should do that another time though, not right now.
I could probably do that with like Jim Carrey movies or Richard Pryor or something.
Oh yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. But who's talking about that on that pedal show? Not Joey Landreth and Kirk Fletcher.
That's right.
Tell me about your record. Who's playing on your record?
My record was recorded here in Bristol. Well, this is in Bristol, but recorded here in the UK with Johnny Henderson and Matt Brown, 2 Bristol guys. And it's an organ trio record, but definitely not in the traditional sense. We played whatever rockin', bluesy songs, R&B, whatever in that format. So it was kind of earthy and
Gert Lush, me lovers.
That's right.
I've been there a couple times. That's cool, man.
And it's called Hold On.
Right on. And is it all original stuff? Or?
Yeah, all original songs.
Fantastic. Did you just say that?
I don't know.
I was just thinking about the fact that I knew some Bristolian sayings and that I should work that in, and I stopped listening. I feel really bad about that. That's cool, man. I cannot wait to hear.
Just gotta hold on. I mean, I love your story about, you know, forgiveness and how you came up with that whole thing, and it was beautiful. And it's sort of the same kind of thing, but different.
Cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Hold on. You can hold on to a lot of stuff, you know. Hold on to time and cherish time and, you know, all that dreamy stuff.
Love it. How about you do some playing for us? Why don't you show some sounds from the record? Some record sounds.
Well, on the first track of the record I played, it's called 2 Steps Forward, 10 Steps Back. And it's sort of just that real basic kind of... I use a sound sort of like that, you know, with a little slap back from the studio. And then the solo sound was just turned up, sort of kind of this. That kind of thing, you know.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Did I turn that off or not? Okay, turned it off. Yeah. So that's basically it. And I used like more of a traditional telly for more of the chimier parts,
yeah.
You know, that I played, and that's basically it.
Cool.
A little wah-wah here and there, and turn it up or turn it down. What about your record, Joey?
I'll talk about that.
What are some of the sounds that you use?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I should show you this other guitar. Hang on a tick. Oh, wow. What a crazy trip that was through time and space. This is a guitar made by a good friend of mine, Matt Ike, who's in Saginaw, Michigan. He makes Mule resonator guitars, so like metal body resonators, tricones and single cone stuff. And he started building tellies because he had a love for tellies, and so he started building like they're totally hollow, made of stainless steel. I think, yeah, that's right. And then originally I'd seen there's another guy named Seth Lee Jones who plays with these Hipshot benders, and Seth Lee had one of Matt's guitars with these on it, and I saw it and was like, oh man, what do I have to do to get a guitar with those benders on there? And so he put this thing together. This is actually this pickguard material was sourced by the guy who built my gold top.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so this is like this real Italian acetate, I think, is the material, or acetone, or plastic of some sort. And anyway, so it's got a B bender, a G bender, and an A bender, and for my new tune, Forgiveness. This was we sort of like tracked the whole tune and then needed like a main hook part, and the first thing that kind of came out was this. Yeah, and so that's kind of how that was happening, but so it's kind of lets you fake. Sorry, I've talked about the thing. It lets you kind of fake pedal steel licks.
Sounds fantastic.
But there's all kinds of cool things about it. So like in the chorus of that song, the main riff is, for example, is. So just lets you do cool stuff that you can't necessarily always do with especially with the slide on too, and Yeah, so I might most of the time I just bumble around and play a lot of wrong notes, but there's a couple of things that are it's slowly starting to make sense to me, but it's pretty cool. It's a fun guitar. Yeah, it sounds great. So that's
You know,
it was also good for this.
totally. You know, actually, that tone, some of the voicings and stuff reminded me a little bit of Sonny Landreth, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That tone and kind of like some of those voicings, who I've listened to a lot. You know.
Yeah. Well, I grew up listening to so much Sonny Landreth. I mean, not mainly, but because we share the same last name, it was like my folks. My dad was a musician, and it was like the coolest thing was like this guy is an absolute guitar hero, and we have the same name as him. So there was a lot of Sonny in the house, and so I stole
Outward Bound. You know. The whole production on that too inspired me a lot too. Just the production value of those records.
Such great guitar sounds. He gets such great guitar sounds.
Yeah.
Crazy. I actually blew up a compressor one time because my dad told me that Sonny had a, or at least he thought that Sonny had said that I've always got a compressor on in the back of the amp. And so I didn't realize that maybe that meant in the effects loop. So I just plugged in the amplifier output into the input of the compressor and plugged into the speaker.
Oh!
And it wasn't dramatic or anything, but it wrecked it.
Oh!
I was like, oh, damn.
You know, what, I'm sorry.
No, that's it. It's just a dumb thing I did one time.
Maybe I should do some of the cleaner tones too that I played on the new record that's coming out October 19th.
I think you should show us some of the clean tones from the record that's coming out October 19th.
Yeah, so this guitar I use for all of the more chimey stuff on the record, you know, all of the, you know, sparkly, traditional telly type tones. And I got this guitar from Ron Ellis, and it has Ron Ellis pickups, and he cut out the body to be like a... to be like an old no-caster or something, and I think this is like a custom shop neck, and the guitar just spoke to me.
Cool.
You know, it was just one that spoke to me. So, like, some of the stuff on the record would be like... That's the title. That's the name of the new record that I'm not talking about. Hold On, and that song's called Hold On, and that's kind of how it goes.
Oh, it's beautiful, man.
Thanks, my friend.
The guitar sounds amazing.
Now I need you to come and play on it.
You heard it here first. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Hey, so getting off the subject a little bit, Lowell George.
Oh man,
Aren't you gonna do a little something like Lowell George project or something like that?
I've been talking
Am I
about
spilling the beans?
a little bit, but that's fine. There hasn't been any movement on that idea, but I've just been wanting to pay tribute somehow, and so I think what Kirk here is talking about is I'm gonna record some Lowell George tunes at some point. You're gonna come and play on it.
Woohoo! You mean this guy?
This guy. Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna happen. At some point, maybe next year. Maybe next year, once my new record comes out and this tour is done. That starts on the 30th and then ends on the 12th.
Yeah.
In Ashington.
Totally. Yeah, I would have to, make sure my record comes out too at some point, October 19th.
Yeah, some point between the hours of maybe 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
On a Friday.
Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. You might have heard of it.
Stick a fork in it. It's done. Joey, you a bad dude, man.
Oh, man. I don't think there's anything greater than you playing a shuffle. Holy shit.
No, man.
You may have noticed that I've just suddenly changed from a red guitar to a blue guitar. This is my blue guitar. That was the other one was a red one. This is a guitar made by Josh Williams down in your home state, California. And yeah, it's a full size 335. I think 16 inches, and Firebird pickups. And
both pickups are Firebird?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's got a really cool thing with slide. It's just kind of like the Firebird pickups just Anyway, sounds really great.
Sounds fantastic.
Why don't you, speaking of sounds fantastic, why don't you tell me a little bit about your guitar amp there behind you?
My guitar amp is made by Cliff Brown, and it's a 633 engineering amplifier, and it's basically based on, fundamentally a Tweed Pro, like a 59 Tweed Pro.
Oh, cool.
With a larger transformer, and it has a 12-inch box gold speaker in there. And I love it to death. And I really got this idea from a great West Coast guitar player named Junior Watson, who's, one of my all-time heroes from originally from the Bay Area, but now he's been in Southern California for years. But check out Junior Watson. I love that guy. And he gave me the idea years and years ago, to have like a Pro with different speakers other than like the 15 from the late 50s.
Yeah.
And Cliff just magically made this appear, and here we are. And this was the only amp I used on my record that's coming out October 19th.
Very cool.
Hold on. Yeah. And I actually, the only trick that I will say that I've never done before was record with that amp sitting right here, right next to me. So I could just,
no kidding,
on command, get feedback.
Wild.
I've never done that before. I never even thought to like have the amp that close to me so I can just, any note is just like, whoa.
Yeah. Did you feel like you lost any low end not having it on the floor? That's always like something that I when people go, oh, well, let's lift your amp up, and go, no, don't you dare.
And
but I've always been afraid to, but I can't actually say I've tried lifting it up, to be honest.
And that's funny. Mike Landau.
Give him one more honk.
Mike Landau.
That feels good.
It's actually like something I got from him. It's like the mic doesn't really, I don't know if the mic really, a SM57 really knows the difference really, if it's on the floor. And this probably took most of my career because I'm used to it on the floor always.
Yeah. But
having it elevated with the mic on it, maybe back a little ways.
I bet you, if anything, having it lifted up would probably give you a little more clarity, because like that, like if it's coupling with the floor somehow, with a 57, it probably only registers as mud, I bet.
Could be.
Try it out. Don't be afraid to try things. Take chances.
I'm not saying I'll always do that, but, for the record I did. I had it in the chair,
The record that you did that's coming out on October 19th.
Well, clean without the little boost on there. It's like right on the verge of kind of. And then with a little boost on there, it's like. It's cool. That design really, and my buddy Junior Watson was kind of more using it for like a really 50s blues kind of Chicago blues sound, but I'm kind of doing it more for just endless sustain and the amp getting to where you want it quicker. That's the real concept of it. And Cliff's a master at circuitry.
Circuit master.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Joey, about this capo.
Oh yes, I'm so glad you asked. This is the Page capo and I've got them on every guitar. They're really great. You can't lose them. That's why they're on every guitar, because otherwise they fall out of my pockets, or they fall out of gig bags, or I lend them to people, or whatever. So each guitar always has one. This is this is a new model. It's got a quick release, but I don't actually use a quick release. I just kind of it's got a thumb screw on the back, and then you bring it in. It's actually kind of nice because you can wiggle it around, because the radius of a fretboard and the strings being different gauges and stuff like that, it kind of helps to get it into a bit of a sweet spot. So I kind of lean it a little further to the treble side, and that will help mitigate some of the pulling the bass strings out of tune a little bit. I mean, you get no matter what, you get a little bit of that. No matter what you do, but and it's pretty quick to move around if you like to capo like I do. It's like that's my go-to lick. I play that lick. It's in every song. It's in every song that I've written. It's also in
rules.
Letting my secrets out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and listening to Kirk and I not advertise his record coming out October 19th and my tour starting on Friday in Brighton. Thanks for that. The imitable Kirk Fletcher, to my left, your right. Man, what a treat to spend a bunch of time listening to you play the guitar and getting to play with you a little bit. I have been a big fan of yours for a very long time.
Thank you so much.
Getting to call you my friend is a cool thing, and I'm going to brag a lot about that.
Joey, it has absolutely been one hell of a nice day I spent here with you, talking about your tour that's starting in Brighton on Friday.
Yeah.
And my record that's coming out October 19th that I'm not talking about.
That's right.
What a joy. I wish every day could be like this.
Yeah, man, me too. Pleasure. Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Get out of it.
The door was open, and so we just saw some camera gear and
Liberties. You can't even tune his guitar properly.